Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with Mercedes, episode number 43 today for the My Left Front Tyres on Fire Grand Prix of Season 2, round number 13. If you missed the previous Pain at Belgium, then of course you can go and check that out, and of course subscribe to the channel and you see plenty more F1 2021 Driver Career Mode. Of course, this is the last episode of the year. It's not the last race of the year, so if you're looking for a little bit of a better end of the year, then I reckon you can check out Thursday's F1 Project Phoenix episode. Coming into this one then, we haven't really got a lot of R&D points. We're 200 short of this major brakes upgrade. Brakes is pretty much the next part of the sachet that I'm sort of targeting, because we want to start. At some point we might need to think about engine regulations for next year, but the rear downforce upgrade is on, as qualifying is going to be wet. But well, not that it matters actually in the end, but we'll get to that in a moment as well, because I think you can see the bottom email from Charlie that says next year's regulations. As I feared, there are going to be regulations. Now it's got to be a fine balancing it and trying to upgrade this car and also thinking about next year. So that's the fine balancing acts we're going to have now. Once those upgrade departments get confirmed, which are probably going to be all of them, to be honest, we're probably going to have a complete reset across the board. But we'll probably find out probably at Singapore, I reckon, if not USA, one of those two episodes, which will coming the latter half of next week. One of those two episodes, or in a few weeks' time, we'll find out which parts. But coming into this one, then we've upgraded, which is good because it means that we have been able to take a smidgen ahead of McLaren and Red Bull. Ferrari have brought some upgrades to close in on Red Bull and McLaren, but as I've said so far throughout this career mode, Ferrari haven't looked like they're able to challenge as well. Alpine are there, still there as well. So yes, but moving to qualifying, guess what I forgot to do again? Yes, that's right, change the power unit over. To be honest, I was just fascinated by the fact that Southampton Football Club hadn't managed to actually score a goal, and actually score 3 of them and keep the lead as well. But anyway, interestingly, in qualifying, it's Norris and Stroll, the two informed drivers in these two episodes. I'm going to be starting from the back of the grid. Not sure what happened to the Aston Martin. It was a wet qualifying, so maybe they went out first and didn't go out again. So it's definitely going to be interesting. We've got the likes of Ricciardo starting further down. Stroll is an interesting one because he's now in a good position in the championship, so hopefully Norris will be able to go and win again. So we'll see what we can do though. Time for the race.
Welcome along then to the North Sea coast and Zandvoort, 25 miles away from Amsterdam, and the host for today's Dutch Grand Prix. It's a race the great Jim Clark won on 4 occasions, leading for an astonishing total of 370 laps. A lap of this short 2.6 mile Zandvoort circuit features 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left. The main straight is 678 metres long and heads into turn 1, the Tarzan corner. With DRS down the main straight into the braking zone, that could be the best overtaking opportunity on the track. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you got your own race to run. I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday and will start from pole position, with Lance Stroll alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso, Verstappen, Leclerc, Gasly and Esteban Ocon, Joe, Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Giovinazzi, Mazepin, Russell, Yuki Tsunoda and Sergio Perez, Vettel and a Mercedes. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Also, don't know if we're going to get any penalties, of course, throughout this season. Interestingly, everybody decided to start on the soft tyre, so just like at Belgium, I'm going to change this up and we're going to start on the medium tyre. Tyre temperatures will be interesting to see if we have the same as what we had on last year's game as well. If it is, then it will probably be better that we start on the mediums anyway, to be honest, because the softs will be horrific as well. So, private lights then for the Dutch Grand Prix. From last place on the grid, lights are out and away we go, and it's a poor start on the medium tyres, but Tsunoda's also had a poor stop. He blocks off there. We're going to die down the inside of about 3 or 4 cars there, and it's a lovely little move, able to swing to the outside, move up to P15 as there's been a calamity up at the corner there, as I think there was some contact made between Ricciardo, I think that was, and the Alpine of Alonso as well. So all Ricciardo and Alonso, and I think also Leclerc, I think they're in the Ferrari, are also going slow as Alonso's gone off the track as well, coming through there. He needs to have taken it slowly. To be fair, that corner's hell for me every time, never mind without a front wing, as Alonso takes out one of the styrofoam brake boards, as well as Leclerc is there. He's going in as we're now catching up to Nicholas Latifi, the first of the Alfa Romeo. It's not seen a lot of Alfa Romeo. This is the highest they've actually been up in an episode. I mean, they haven't upgraded at all this season as well, and we're now looking to make light workers zoo on an unorthodox position up to the corner that everyone hates, and it's a lovely little move there. Very unorthodox place to make a move, but it is very lovely move on Guan Yu Zhou there in the Alfa Romeo car. We forced him out there, and he takes his teammate's front wing off. So I'm sure Frederic Vasseur will be fuming. There's a chance there for Alfa Romeo to get some good points. But we're coming in then at the end of lap number 7. Excuse me, the end of lap number 6, going to lap number 7. The reason was because I had absolutely no pace whatsoever around this circuit. It is just horrific. It's actually so horrific that Charles Leclerc has been able to go past us, even changing his front wing. That's how bad we are. We are going to be on the soft tyres. We'll see if they overheat. Hopefully they don't. We should be able to have the points. We're now looking at making a move. Same place as Zhou on Perez in the Alfa Romeo. There's a little bit of pinching going on. We've gone a little bit wide on the exit of that corner, as is traditional on this year's game. But we have made another very audacious move there, trying to get off elbows out on Perez, the man who replaced us. There's a little bit of contact there. Don't know if that's a bit from my flaw actually with Perez. Made contact with Perez at the previous round as well, but unfortunately, just like on F1 2020, the tyres around here like to overheat. The soft tyres, it's the rear left that's actually doing the most of it on this year's game, but it's still the front left is also blowing up. But despite that, despite everything, we've somehow managed to go purple in Sector 1, and then obviously through Sector 2 and Sector 3 I'm just losing a huge amount of time. So Sector 1 is obviously long and swooping, which is promising for the next episode at Italy, so we might be able to have a comeback there. As watching George Russell and the Williams, I haven't seen too much of Williams in the second half of the career. We saw a little bit of Giovinazzi having a Spinaro in the previous episode, but Russell's episode has come to an end and he is out. Unfortunately for us, Lance Stroll is leading the Grand Prix. He jumped Norris off the line, as you may have seen on the little inset on lap 1. Hopefully Norris can get back in front. He's going to have DRS. We're going to have DRS on Pierre Gasly in the Alpha Tauri. He's on the hard tyre. It's a there's literally no answer for Gasly on those hard tyres. Even with my overheating softs are faster than those woeful hards, which are going that. But to be fair, it's been myself and Gasly have been a very lonely race for us, because everyone else is at least 80 seconds up the road, as Gasly coming into everyone's least favourite corner, and he has actually gone off there on his hard tyres. So even the AI can struggle at that corner, even though, yes, but obviously for me I just have to lift off there, as I've had a little bit of a moment on the last lap. Allowed Gasly to catch up. Alonso has also got in front of Giovinazzi, so Alonso, the Alpine, does have some good pace, especially although Leclerc has taken fastest lap showing Ferrari's new upgrades. Obviously Leclerc got involved in lap 1. Alonso of course went off, so there is pace to the Alpine and the Ferrari. It's just that they haven't been able to take on the likes of the Mercedes, the Red Bull and the McLaren car, who are at the front, as Lance Stroll does indeed win, unfortunately for us. We'll see what impact that has on the Drivers' Championship. Across the final line, though, a horrific P9. To be honest, I don't know what we would have been able to do anyway if we had qualified, because the pace was not there. The tyres would have probably been overheated massively, and I'd have pit early, and then we've lost so much time on those mediums that it was just horrific tyre wear. We were pretty much 2 seconds a lap slower than the rest of the field, as well. So we just lost a whole load of time there, unfortunately, as well. So in terms of the standings, unfortunately that means we've lost the lead of the championship to Lance Stroll, so it's a 9-point lead for Stroll over myself. Ricciardo is down to 3rd place, but Verstappen also posing in, as is Hamilton there. Norris, can he get involved? We'll have to wait and see. Might be a little bit too late for the likes of Sainz and Leclerc. Red Bull also take the charge at constructors.
Your thoughts? You've been overtaken in the championship. Are you feeling the pressure?
No. I know that we've got a lot of good races to come, so we should be able to bounce back.
How do you feel this season is going for you? Is the car competitive?
Well, we know the car is competitive. It's just that the track, the game.
Thank you for your time.
So there we go. We've had 4 poor races, to be honest, in a row. We need to bounce back, hopefully with victory at Italy. The fact that the car is set up towards being so fast in a straight line, you saw how even without DRS we were able to overtake Latifi, and then obviously with DRS we were able to get in front of Gasly. So yes, we'll look to secure some bigger points in the next race at Italy. The fact that we won Baku and Austria shows that the car does have the performance of a straight line. As well, with the 5 remaining races, we will be targeting victory at every single one. But until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.